Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time stopping by, hello, my name's Anthea and I create fashion, beauty and lifestyle videos. So if you enjoy hauls, unboxings and reviews and that kind of thing, please do consider hitting the red subscribe button down below, and whilst you're hitting that red subscribe button, please do make sure you hit the notification bell, and that way you don't miss any of my future videos. So in today's video, I'm going to be running through the top 10 reasons that you should consider buying fashion archive pieces. And with that, I also thought it might be a good idea for me to share some of the pieces I've got on my archive wish list. So I'm not going to do them in any particular order or anything like that. I just thought that for those of us out there that love fashion, also want to kind of do their bit for the environment, sustainability, reduce fashion waste, all that kind of thing, I thought this might be helpful for, one or two out there. This is something that I'm trying to do more going forward into my future fashion purchases. So I don't know if any of you guys have watched my vlogs, but I've basically started again, if you like, when it comes to fashion. I'm getting rid of a whole host of stuff, just a fast fashion that is potentially not great quality or it's just not my style anymore, that kind of thing. And what I am trying to do is create a wardrobe that has just stuff that I love in there, and that I can just reach for time and time again, timeless pieces, rare pieces, that kind of thing. So as I say, I'm not going to go in any particular order. What I'll do is I'll give you the reason to buy archive pieces, and then I'll show you the item that I'm eyeing up as part of my archive list. So I would say the very first reason to consider purchasing or looking into buying fashion archive pieces are the fact that they are literally timeless. So a lot of the timeless pieces, they have their moment in fashion, let's say, and a lot of the time, although they have that kind of iconic moment in fashion, when it is an actual timeless piece, it's something that you can kind of pull out time and time again, hence the word timeless. So it's kind of worthwhile considering potentially picking up something that you would consider timeless, because again, I think when it comes to fashion, everyone's ideas around what is timeless and what isn't is all dependent on what you deem to be timeless and what fits your style. So bearing that in mind, one of the items on my wish list, archive wish list at the moment, is the Alexander McQueen, and it's called, I've got it written down here because I don't want to butcher the name, and it's the Alexander McQueen blue denim green taffeta deconstructed flared skirt. Now, I did try and find out when this actually launched or went live, but I couldn't find it on the internet. Now, if I'm thinking back, I would say it was probably 2 or 3 years ago. It was pre-pandemic or just around the pandemic time. So it might have been like 2020. So it is a few years old. Now, this to me is what I would deem as something that would be really timeless. So as I was saying, really sorry, my battery died, so I'm not sure where I stopped there. However, I do believe I was talking about timeless pieces, and then I was talking about the Alexander McQueen skirt, which I will pop here. So this skirt is, for me, a classic piece or a timeless piece. This is something I love. Denim is my thing, and I love the combination of the taffeta and the denim, and I think the shape of the skirt is what I would class as timeless. So again, it's a bit of an edgier piece, so those that are kind of into more of a classic style, not necessarily classic silhouette, I think this suits me perfectly. But if I am trying to see if I can find this. It's everywhere I see it online. It is sold out and I can't get it, but I'm going to put it on my wish list and I'm going to continue to try and find it. And that's kind of some of the fun as well when you're looking for archive pieces, is the actual hunt and actually finding them in the end. Okay, so the second reason is the fact that it is a rare piece. So with it being so rare, it potentially was an item that was had a limited amount, or they've discontinued it for whatever reason. And that way, if you can get your hands on it, you know, it's kind of, I suppose it's a talking piece. You know, people are kind of, oh, where did you get that, or you know, that kind of thing. So I think for me, I would love to kind of get a couple of rare pieces in my archive collection. Now I'm not 100% sure as to what that will look like at the moment, but the second item on my list for what I want in my collection is this self-portrait maxi floral cold shoulder dress in yellow. I have been eyeing this dress up and trying to get this dress since, oh my gosh, I have to say probably about 4 years ago now. I've managed to locate a couple of times on Vinted, but the sizing was just off, and I was really, yeah, I'm just after the size, but I'm still on the hunt, still searching for it. Now this, I would say, because I'm struggling to get hold of it, I would potentially class this as a rare piece as well. But again, when you're looking at archive pieces, it is you know, not everybody has it, and I think now we have a lot of things where it's mass amounts made. You know, you'll see everybody on social media or just out and about wearing very similar things, and I think it's nice to, yes, have some of those pieces, because obviously everybody wants to, or I should say most people want to have that, but it's nice every now and again just to be able to kind of pull out a piece out of your wardrobe that nobody has or very few people have. So that, I would say definitely that's the number 2 reason I would say that it would be a good idea for you to consider buying archive fashion pieces. So number 3 would be the potentially, now I'm not saying this out of all for everything, but potentially a higher quality item when you're buying archive pieces. Now I think it depends on what you're looking for in your archive piece. Now the one that I'm going to show you now, I don't know, I don't own anything from this brand, so I cannot comment on the quality. As I say, I've not in line my list with these you know, the top 10 if you like, but the next one on my list that I'm eyeing up for my wardrobe is, yeah, so the Prada monolith boots is what I'm eyeing up. Now this came out in 2019, and 2019 this came out, and I think it's safe to say that the chunky boot is definitely here to stay, because we are still wearing them in a multitude of ways, brands, styles. It's going strong and has not stopped. Now for me, I obviously saw the Prada monolith boot when it came out. Wasn't too sure, because I feel like I've got quite skinny legs, and I thought I wasn't sure how, you know, a chunky boot was going to look on me. So I ended up picking up a pair from Steve Madden. And what I will say is I have had so much wear out of those boots. They're a similar style, they're not exactly the same obviously as the monolith boot, very similar, but I did get quite a lot of wear out of them. So what I'm thinking now is I would love to potentially get a better quality boot, so I am going to invest in the Prada monolith boot going forward, and I think that would be a really good piece to add to my collection. As I say, I wear that style now, so it's, you know, there's no, it is part of me and it is part of my style. So I think it's a really good way of introducing that with like a higher quality boot. The Steve Madden one actually has lasted quite long, because I've had them probably about 3 or 4 years. I think that I bought them around the time that the monolith boot came out, and I still wear them today. They still look great, but I do want to kind of up my game a little bit, so I am considering them on my list. And then number, I think we're on 4, yeah, so number 4 for one of the reasons why you should consider buying archive is the resale potential. So, or I should say investment potential. So again, depending on what you're buying, there is, you know, I would say the things that kind of come to mind for me at the moment are like the Hermes bags. Now that's not something that I would potentially want to purchase. Can I afford it? No, but even if I could afford it, I don't think it's my style. I like the look of them, and I think when I see people wearing them, they look great. But when I'm thinking of me and my day-to-day, how I live and stuff, and what my outfits look like, I can't imagine that as part of my my fashion. So, but that I know is what you could call a potentially archive piece, investment piece. And then the other things, I feel like the handbags to me are things that would potentially be investment pieces. So again, you could look for something that's really rare. I know the Dior saddle bag can be classed as quite a rare piece, and therefore have a higher potential to kind of have a return on your investment if that's something you want to do. So I suppose, again, when you're looking at what you want as part of your archive pieces, maybe consider that I don't think everybody does, because I think some of the pieces I've just mentioned to you now, I wouldn't necessarily class them as investment pieces. I would be buying archive pieces on the purpose that I want to keep them, and it's something that I want to keep in my wardrobe, not necessarily to sell on. But if that's the way you want to consider doing that, then that's fine. Each to their own. But the next piece that's on my wish list is the Louis Vuitton multi-pochette, I think that's what it's called. I'd have popped up a picture. Now this came out in 2019, and I have been eyeing this bag up for the longest time. I nearly pulled the trigger on it just before Christmas 2024. But I had to restrain myself because I was this close to finishing the purchase of buying my house, and I didn't have extra money to do it. I could have done it, but then I would have really struggled, and it's like, you're supposed to be grown up, so I couldn't do that. But I was so tempted. It was a colourway I wanted. I want exactly the same what's in this picture. I want the green strap. They do it in pink, and I think they're doing, I'm not sure what colour, pink, and I'm not seeing the other colour that pops into mind, but I want the green. Green's, I feel like, part of my style. I feel like that's something that I would wear a lot. So that for me is definitely on my wish list for for the forthcoming. And I think I would say this is something that has held its value, because I feel like this, because it is so sought after, the price points are still quite high. I've not seen one on the resale market yet for under £1,000. Now I know the original price was probably a lot more than that, but considering how old this bag is, you would have thought it would have reduced in price on the retail market, but it hasn't. And as I said previously, I'm not looking to purchase these things because I want to resell. I'm purchasing these things because I want them part of my my fashion collection. So yes, if you guys out there see any of these things, please pop them in the comment section down below. And I would also encourage, if you yourself have got any archive pieces that you're trying to find or eyeing up, maybe we could help each other out in the comment section down below. So drop whatever it is you're looking for down there. And again, it's one of them, if you see something as you're going about, then you might and then we can share. Why not? Let's help each other out. Yeah. And then moving on to number 5. So number 5 reason is for sustainability. Now I mentioned this at the top of the video, and I think as time has gone on, most people are considering their footprint on the environment, and I think it's a really good idea if you can. I'm here to kind of just say what I want to do, and I think as time goes on and as you get older, you kind of just rethink things. And I think for me, as time's gone on, I've been a person who's consumed fast fashion for the longest time, but I feel like as I've gotten older now, I'm not necessarily focused on fast fashion. I'm focused on, I suppose, classic, better quality stuff that will therefore it'll last me longer, things like that. So buying archive pieces is a way of kind of continuing pieces on, you know, what's that saying where it's like, someone's trash is someone's treasure. That yeah, someone whatever. I'll put it on screen. And I think that's what it goes with when it comes to fashion and finding archive pieces, because again, people's tastes change, people's needs change as time goes on, and that way if you can kind of pass things on and keep it moving rather than continuously, you know, making things and throwing them onto these landfills and I think, you know, whatever bit you can contribute to that, why not? And like I say, I'm not sat here saying that I'm never going to buy anything new, but I think what I will be conscious of is just buying as much fast fashion as I used to. But then next on my list for an archive piece is the Valentino Rock Stud bag. This came out in 2010. This is another one that every time I see it, it's just, I just think it's absolutely beautiful. I feel like for me it's the studs. I would say that my fashion or my style is quite edgy, or I'd like to think so anyway. Quite edgy. So for me, when I look at the studs, and it's like studs, piercings, you know, I do have quite a few piercings. I love piercings. So for me, it's just kind of, yeah, it just kind of takes, it just elevates that kind of evening bag. I mean, yeah, you could wear it every day, but I think for me, if I had that bag, it'd be a bag that I'd wear out of an evening. That would kind of just take my outfit up to the next level, as they say. So I'm not fussed on what colour I want that in. I suppose I'd play safe with black, but I'd probably want something like red or something like that. I want something a little bit different. I've got quite a few black bags, but I think if I got this, I'd love it in a red. I think it'd be hella sexy in a red. So yeah, that's number 5 for me. And then number 6, number 6 is fashion history. So, you know, depending on what you are searching for within your archive fashion collection, potentially you have a piece of fashion history. Now I have a pair of Vivienne Westwood pirate boots. I've had these pirate boots easily more than 15 years. I've wore them only a few times. Now for me, I'm always back and forth whether I should sell them or not. But then I always think back to myself, you know, she's no longer here with us. This was one of the most iconic pieces in her, you know, collection of her being Vivienne Westwood. And I just think this would be something that I'd love to kind of just keep, because it is part of fashion history. And so I think I would I would keep hold of that. But again, I think, you know, those of us out there that have that love of fashion and want to, I suppose, keep a piece of that, just, I don't know, for me, I think it's lovely. And even what's the word I'm looking for, even displaying them, just to, those kind of things make me smile when I look at, you know, like shoes or bags and things like that. Specific ones, not everything I look at makes me smile, but there's specific ones that I just think, you know what, yeah, they make me happy. So maybe consider that if you are looking to kind of start your little journey into archive pieces. But next on my list as number 6 is, which is quite, I'd say, quite a fashion hit. Well, maybe it's not. In my mind it is, but it's the Gucci belt bag. Now this came out in 2015, and the funny thing is, I think I had one of these. I had one of these years ago, and I think I sold it. Now this ties in well with what I was just talking about with the Vivienne Westwood boots, because if I'd sold the Vivienne Westwood boots, I'd be like, oh, you know, if I felt like I needed them again, I'd have to go out and buy them. Now I'm having to do the same with this Gucci belt bag. Now this for me, I feel like, yes, it's a monogram one. And I'm not into too much of the loud, you know, designer stuff. Now with Gucci, I think it's fine to do that for Gucci, because that's kind of part of its history as well. Now this for me, I thought it'd be just ideal for traveling, throwing on, going to the shop. I feel like it's just a piece where, you know, you could wear something really simple and just throw this on, and it just kind of, again, stepped up your little outfit in my mind. So I have found a couple of these on Vinted, but I'm after one that is in, I'd say, really excellent condition. I'm prepared to kind of pay a little bit more for it, because I think this particular bag is, I think because of the way it's worn, I think it's more prone to wear and tear. And I've seen someone there with like fraying and these people, and I'm like, excuse me, what now? You do realise it's like, this looks like you've literally dashed it through hedge backwards, but you want me to pay how much? So that's not for me. So I am still on the hunt for that. So again, like I said, if you know of where I can find one at a reasonable price, pop it in the comment section down below. But yeah, so I'm after this Gucci belt bag. Yeah, get your life. Get your life. Reason number 7, I would say, is the craftsmanship and the detail of some of the archive pieces that you would say. Now again, I think it depends on the design house collection at that time. Some stuff, I feel like now a lot of the stuff is a lot simpler. So, you know, you have like brands like the Row and brands like that, where it's just really I'd say simple and elegant, opposed to, I feel like, 2000s and like 10s, 15s, where I suppose it was a little bit more embellished and more focused on the detail. So if that's your vibe, then obviously you'd be looking to find stuff that like is your archive piece. Like now, I'd say everything is, yeah, pretty simple. I'm just kind of thinking back to the last few seasons. There's nothing that, from my perspective, has kind of been really wow. I feel like a lot of the stuff is just really simple. So you have your sheer stuff that is still you know, the trend going on into 2025, and that kind of thing, and your maxi dresses and, you know, your florals. I don't really see anything that's come out where I'm like, oh right, okay. There's a lot of detail in that. I think everything seems very simple, which is not a bad thing. But again, I think if you want standout pieces and things that are potentially going to get people talking or asking questions, and, you know, give the ability to have a conversation piece is the terminology I'm trying to find. You know, if you're out and about and it might start a conversation, you know, especially if you're out and about, you know, what's the word, network, trying to network and I mean, I ain't doing that, but if you are, then maybe consider that. I'm not ready to network yet. I'm trying to build my channel. So on that note, I'm trying to build my channel. So if you've made it this far in the video and you have not yet subscribed, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button? I would highly appreciate it. Thank you. So as what's on my archive wish list for number 7 is the Prada puff jacket. Now this came out in 2019, and it's weird because everything doesn't feel that long ago, and I remember when this first came out, absolutely stunning jacket, absolutely love it. Now it's still available now, so it's not an archive piece in the sense that you can't get hold of it. I think it retails now for about £2,600. Yeah, a lot of money. So I think for me, this would probably be last on my list if I saw it. It's not something that I'd be like desperate to get, or like feel the real need to get it. But I do think it'd be something that would be well worth adding to my collection, just because of the type of jackets and stuff like that I wear. I feel like this puffer jacket would be a kind of would elevate the style. So I do wear a lot of, I suppose, street puffers now, which everyone wears just to, you know, casually, like day to day. But I feel like this Prada jacket would be superb if I was maybe you know, going out of an evening or something, but just needed something a little bit special. So yeah, definitely on my list. Okay, and then number 8 is, I would say, for fashion nostalgia. So sometimes it's just, you know, for the mere thought of memories and what that time meant for you. And so I suppose, you know, all these tips all these suggestions as to why it might be a good idea for you to consider purchasing archive pieces. I suppose it's all personal to you, so it might be that, like I say, something that is nostalgic to you, or you know, you're into more quality pieces, you're into detail, whatever it is. These are some of the reasons why you might want to consider archive pieces. And then number 8 on my list is the Chloe bracelet bag. Now, I've been eyeing this up for the longest time. This came out in 2017 and I just love this bag. I just thought it was such a beautiful shaped bag. I thought it was a classic bag. I thought it was a beautiful summer bag. That's kind of how I envisioned it. And I feel like this bag with that self-portrait dress, chef's kiss. In my mind, that's a vision I have. I've seen these on the pre-love market. They're not too badly priced. I'd probably say about, I think I've seen some for about £500-600. I do want it in the tan colour. In all honesty, I do want it in the tan colour. That's kind of what I'm gravitating more towards. I think that's because I'm thinking of it more as a summer bag opposed to one that I would wear all year round, and I feel like the tan bag would work well with a plethora of items throughout the summer. So definitely on my list, and it's achievable. It's more achievable than the Louis Vuitton multi-pochette, which is, you know, up there in price, but I think one day I will have it. No doubt. Because I did buy the Mango did a bag maybe 2 years ago, and it was a similar style. So obviously it had the multiple pockets and it had like a little strap thing on it, and I still have that bag and I reach for it a lot. And again, that was one of the reasons why I purchased it. I don't like to buy I don't want to say dupes, but similar high street stuff to designer stuff, you know, to get the look. That's not me. If that's what you do, that I'm not, you know, I'm not hating or anything like that. But for me personally, I don't like to do that. I prefer to get the thing that I want. But what I did want to do is kind of just test the style of the bag to see if it's something that I would wear. Therefore, then it would kind of solidify the need in my wardrobe for the particular bag, which is the Louis Vuitton one. So that's kind of how I've done it. And until I get the Louis Vuitton one, I will still continue to rock the Mango bag. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just simple black, no fuss, no muss. So I do enjoy wearing that bag, and as I say, I wear it all the time. And then number 9 is what we would call celebrity endorsement. Now, I'm not big on celebrity endorsement. However, I know there's people out there that kind of like the idea of, you know, being in line with celebrities and things like that. And I just think as the years have gone on and times have changed, I think many moons ago, I'm showing my age now, but many moons ago, it was really a big thing. You had the likes of As Seen on Screen, which is pretty much ASOS, and what they would do, it would be a take on the fashion brands or what celebrities were wearing, and then they'd recreate it and you'd be able to purchase it on their website. Now, funny enough, actually, I've done a degree as a fashion buyer. This was many years ago as well, and I actually did my dissertation on the connection of celebrity and fashion and how they intermingle, and the influence that celebrities had on fashion and the way that we actually bought stuff. So I was obviously ahead of my time, but so for me, I feel like that I understand that there's always been that connection with it. But what I would say now is in most recent years, it hasn't been as heavy when it comes to celebrities and endorsements. I think that's where influencers have come in, and brands have seen the importance of kind of just regular people using these things and being able to kind of demonstrate the positives, the negatives, and all of that. Whereas I think with celebrities, they were so far removed from our day-to-day and who we were as people that, yeah, you might want to kind of, you know, I don't know, have a perfume because they're wearing it. That's one thing, but you don't relate to them on a you know, granular level on just day to day as being a human being who, you know, either goes out to work or has got kids, got his whatever, you know, you're able to kind of access the influencer a lot more than you are able to kind of even consider what's happening out there with celebrities. So for me personally, I think, you know, if that's the way you kind of want to connect when it comes to archive pieces, you know, you've got the likes of, the first person that comes into my mind is Kim Kardashian, because I feel like she's constantly out there, and, you know, I suppose the Kardashians as a whole and that kind of connection with them as celebrity. But I think with them, that's kind of come into play because of their show. So maybe people have thought that they are more, they know them more because they see them differently on the screen. So maybe that's where that break from influencer and celebrity came in. I don't know, this is just me spitballing, but yeah. But if that's the way you kind of like to kind of do fashion, then that's another potential reason why you might want to consider archive pieces. And then with that, number 9 is the Celine ankle boots. These came out in 2018. These are an absolutely beautiful boot. Now, again, when I'm thinking of these, I'm thinking that they are a classic. They are a boot that you would be able to wear year in, year out. The square toe has not really gone anywhere. I think the toe box, if you like, changes every now and again, but I think they have now become a classic. So therefore, if you have a square toe, it's not out, it's not off trend. I think you're still able to wear them. That's if you're bothered about trends. I'm not particularly bothered about trends. I like what I like, and, you know, if it so happens to be on trend, so great, but I'm not really a trend driven purchaser when it comes to fashion. But these boots, I just think, are absolutely stunning. I think the heel height on them is perfect. I think the silhouette on them is perfect. I just absolutely adore these boots. I don't see them too much on the resale market, if I'm being totally honest. I think I've seen them once or twice, and then the ones that I do tend to see are American, like on American websites, which for me it's not really cost effective to try and get a boot from America here, just because the amount it's going to cost me. I might as well see if I can find them new and pay full price. But I absolutely adore these boots, and I would love them in my collection. I feel like if you have this boot, you don't need to buy another ankle boot. Like, you don't. You can wear this with dresses, you can wear these with jeans, you can wear these with straps. What can't you wear them with? That's what can't you wear them with? Exactly. So I think for me, these are a perfect boot for anyone's wardrobe. And then number 10, the reason why buying archive pieces might be a good idea is just for the love of fashion. I think if you are someone who loves fashion, loves the history of fashion, loves finding new things, rare things, all of the things that I've just mentioned, I think that would be the perfect way for you to express yourself on an individual basis. As I've said, yes, there are things that we're all going to want similarly. There's going to be, you know, we are so influenced with online and social media, and like you say, influences everything. I think there is always going to be that kind of inspiration driven from other people and what they're wearing. But I think if you stay true to yourself and for your love of fashion, then just focusing on that and trying to be, I suppose, a little bit different from the next person. You know, some people want to stand out, some people don't, but at the same time, you don't have to stand out in order to have rare pieces and things like that. You know, you just have to be all glitter and gold and sparkle in order for you to stand out. So I would say, you know, one of the biggest things out of all the other 9 that I've mentioned, for me, definitely number 10 would be just for the sheer love of fashion. So my beautiful people, that is the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed doing this video. I did a little bit of research, did a little bit of, you know, digging and diving, and kind of considering some of the pieces that I actually do want in my archive collection, which I found really interesting. So yeah, I hope it was helpful. I hope it was interesting. I hope it kind of I want it to kind of be engaging, so hopefully we can have a conversation in the comment section down below, because I'd really like to understand what, you know, when you're thinking of fashion and for your love of fashion, what are some of the things that you're considering? Are you, you know, are you kind of really in depth in fashion? Do you dip in and dip out? You know, so let's have a conversation hopefully in the comment section down below, because I'd really be interested to know your thoughts on archive pieces and things like that. So if you haven't subscribed to the my channel, and please do. So you thought that was just me doing that? That wasn't even like, anyway. Yeah, please do subscribe. I would love to have you as part of my channel and as part of my journey on YouTube. And also, if you like the video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. I will leave my previous video at the end of this, so you're interested to see what I did last week. Stay tuned. I'll drop a link somewhere, you can go and look at it there. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye for now. See ya.